Good morning. It rained last night. We had like a half inch, not quite. It was a good rain. I'm sitting in the office this morning getting ready for a meeting I've got on the computer in 20 minutes. And Dad calls me. Dad's out mowing with the 4440. And he got stuck. So we gotta go rescue him, and we gotta do it in a hurry because I got stuff to do. Backhoe should work. 4440 is not a real heavy tractor. We'll see how bad he's stuck. Mowing around the back side of the bean field here. Farms over that hill there. There's a little crossing, swale, swamp, whatever you want to call it over here. It was probably not a great idea. Oh, he almost made it back through. Oh, well, it'll be fine. He was backing in. Ah. This will be easy. You don't get to get stuck and not call me and not have it be on YouTube. Chain tightened up. There we go. Ah, that was an easy one. Didn't even 8:46 like we 5 minutes. He backed into it, which is good, because when you back in, at least you're facing the right direction to get pulled out, so not too bad. So we gotta go back to the farm. Like I said, I got a meeting on the computer for something for, I don't know, maybe a half hour, and then we'll get to work, find something to do. All right, we got my meeting done. Yeah, another company that wants me to work with them that I've tentatively agreed to trialing their product and stuff. Potential, but we'll see. So anyway, Dad's been working on his burn container, whatever you want to call this thing. This is the grate. He's going to put sides on it. He's going to use old bin flooring, apparently, to do so. And yeah, he's got another tile. He wants to take the tile finder back, go locate another tile, so we're going to go help him do that right now. And then I got the gas-powered power washer out. We're gonna go down to the seed warehouse and start cleaning up the floor and seed treater. Tracing. We're tracing. Right here. White flag, white orange flag, white flag. There's the main, the little clay. It's right here. We almost found it. It was blown out there. There was an open spot, so yeah, we traced this one the other day when I was back here helping him. Anyway, we can dig it up there.
I load it every time.
Brock's here. So, Brock, he's gonna go mow. And do you guys remember a few years ago when I had to fire Brock because he got a tractor stuck? It's that field, right?
Yes.
Right? That's the same field. It's the same field that you're mowing now.
It is.
Dad has already got the 4440 stuck once this morning. How about you don't make it twice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mowed the wet spot. I mowed the spot that I got stuck in it the other day because I knew rain was coming.
Right.
So we should be okay.
Should be all right.
Keyword should.
Okay. Well, just, you know, be smart about it and have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't break anything. All right. Well, we got Dad found that tile that he needed to, and he's taking that tile finder back to our tile guys. We don't own that, it's theirs. But I brought our gas-powered cold water power washer down here. We need to clean up. I want to power wash the floor in here because we're having a bit of a party-ish event here in some time in the next, you know, short while, that I would like to get the bird poop off the floor and just clean it up nice. And there's some oil stain over there that we might be able to clean up a little bit. So we're gonna maybe work on that. We gotta clean up and organize in here a little bit yet. But today's project is the seed treater. So it has not been cleaned up from soybeans yet. I mean, I flushed everything, but I have not really cleaned it off. So we're going to do that this morning. All right, got the power washer set up, got the seed treater outside, and we're just gonna give it a quick rinse down that atomizer chamber and stuff. Sometimes you get some buildup in there, and I like to clean it out really well once in a while. I scrape it out in season several times, and then between beans and wheat and beans, we try and wash it and get everything nice and clean. All right, it's much cleaner than it was, specifically this area. It's not perfect. We got to take this apart because there's some crap inside there. But yeah, I'm happy with it. So we'll let her dry off here. It's lunchtime. I'm gonna go in the house and eat lunch, and we'll come back out and get that put away. We're gonna do some crop scouting this afternoon. Go take a look around at some stuff. I was talking with our crop consultant this morning, the guy that does, or the company that does our soil sampling and fertilizer recs for us. And he said he's hearing more and more tar spot every day. Guys are calling in and asking about it, and that they are finding it. So it is here. We're gonna go find it. Gosh dang it. All right, I pulled the treater back inside, cleaned up a little bit. I need to get this pile here taken care of. So they have a return form that I can get on through my Syngenta account, whatever, and they will come pick those empty kegs up and return them. So I have 11 small ones and 2 big ones here. I've got some more back at the farm. We're gonna go count them and go fill out that paperwork, and then figure out what I got to do to get them returned, because I don't need to store them. All right. We got my form filled out. They'll come pick those up sometime. I don't know, they're supposed to call me, but it is time to do some crop scouting. So we're gonna look at some corn. Right here in this field is where we did all of our replant, except for this first pass along the road and by the electric poles. I did not replant, so that I know is the original stuff, and then we can go out that way into some of the replant if it was worth it or not. Maybe, I mean, something like that. That's the idea. So I haven't brought a tape measure. We'll do some stand counts. Maybe we'll pull some ears and do some yield estimates. Let's see what we got out here. All right, so we are in some of the thin stuff that was the original planting. This is a 110-day golden harvest planted on 4/27. I looked it up, 4/27. Oh my goodness, right there. Holy crap. I was just getting ready to tell you how we've got some northern corn leaf blight. Right here, see this kind of long brown cigar-shaped lesion? That is northern corn leaf blight. There is some gray leaf spot out here. This variety doesn't seem to be too bad. You kind of got to look for it. But I was seeing a little bit of it. But I can't find any tar spot. And then as soon as I start filming, I found a tar spot. You want to see it? Right there. Pretty sure that one's a tar spot. Doesn't rub off. Starting to show through the back side of it. It's here. It's just not very severe. And I am still trying to understand why. But anyway, yep, there's a tar spot. So we're going to keep looking. Anyway, I brought a tape measure. We're going to do a stand count in somewhere like this hole. There's 20 feet of nothing here, so that's not going to yield very good. I can see thin spots over there, but we'll move over into something that seems somewhat average, and we'll see what we got. I picked a bad spot to count. Well, it is what it is. But I started right here, and as we went this way, we had this big gap. And it's not great. So, you know, we measured out our 1/1000th of an acre, 17 feet 5 inches. That row, we got 17 ears. This row, we have 14 ears. That's an average of 15 and a half. 15 and a half times 1,000, 15,500. That's not good. That's not good at all. So, yeah. We'll pick some. Which ones should we pick? All right, so we picked our 3 random ears. We'll peel these back. They better be awfully big because there's not very many of them. They don't feel like they're awfully big. This is not going to be good corn over here. Now, it almost feels like one of these is not like the others. This one here has a lot more rows around. It's not as developed as these 2 ears. I don't know why that is, other than just we've had a wide range of maturities in everything this year. So either way, those are our 3 ears. You can see we've got some tip back here. It's not really tip back again. It's just stuff that didn't pollinate, ran out of pollen, or for whatever reason, those didn't pollinate. This one is a little bit better, but it's behind, so we're still figuring that out a little bit. We're going to count the rows around and the length of kernels in a row on each of these, and then we're going to do some math. Okay, so we had they were all about the same length. They were 39 to 41 long. We had a 12, a 14, and an 18 rows around. Now, obviously, the kernel size is very different on these, and that's the variable that we just don't know at this point, won't know for a while. But when you do the math on these, and you average these 3 ears together, and then you multiply it by our 15,500 population, if you assume 90,000 kernels per bushel, which I think will be a little bit better than that, but 90,000 is kind of the safe standard, that's only 101 bushel the acre. That's not going to cut it. If you say 80,000 average, I think it goes up to like 114. Better, still not good enough. Now, let's walk that way a few rows into the replant corn, do the same thing, and see if the replant was worth it. Okay, we've moved and our stand is much improved. This is 102 day, the stuff that we replanted on May 21st, I think it was. I see some sort of disease showing through these leaves here. It does not look like tar spot. It could be gray leaf spots. I don't know. I heard my agronomist the other day talking about something called physoderma. Maybe that's what this is. It sort of looks like. Is that what he was looking at? I don't know. Anyway, not super healthy, not terrible. Big wide leaves. I like that. Those leaves are very wide. So anyway, we're going to take a stand count. We're going to pull some ears and do the same thing here again. I bet our math works out a lot better. Well, just in the ear count component, we went from 15.5 to this row had 34, this row had 31. That's a 32 and a half average. That's pretty good. That's a whole heck of a lot better. So now we got to pull 3 ears. We're going to pull them and take them out of here so I don't have to stand in this corn anymore and go count them up. So here's our ears. Much more consistent. First thing you notice, I haven't counted them up yet, but they're pretty similar, all about the same. And while they're a little bit farther behind that other stuff, this is 102 day versus 110, but a month almost a planting date difference. So they're really not that much difference. This is, like I said, just a little bit behind, but pollinated pretty well. Better fill to the tip on this stuff. Yeah, this is much better corn. Okay, so do you remember the numbers we were at on the first one? 101, 114, something like that. Do you remember? Remember what I said? Something like that.
I think it was 101.
101 and I think 114 if you figured 80,000 kernels per bushel. All right, so now these kernels look smaller, but there was 2 16 rounds and 1 18 round, and this hybrid is one that typically flexes kernel size and throws really big kernels. I would expect them to be 80,000 kernels per bushel or less, you know, bigger kernels. But that remains to be seen. So the math on this one works out much better. Let me double check my numbers because I forgot what they are. So, given the number of ears that we counted, with these ears being average at 90,000 kernels per bushel, the math works out to 241. At 80,000 kernels per bushel, it's 271. That'll do. That's why we replanted it. Now, that was the last corn we planted, the replant corn, right? It was the very last stuff. And so, I don't know, maybe our last corn is going to be our best, but I would suspect that the early planted corn is going to be better than this. This is not that great of a farm, hence the reason we had to replant it. So, let's keep looking. Let's go find some beans to look at. We happened to stop right by where that hole was in our road. The county patched it, kind of. I mean, they filled it in, but it's already sinking in more. Hey, it's effort. They put some effort in. Time to look at some soybeans, and oh my, do we have some awfully darn good looking soybeans, although I see a problem. What's the problem here? What's going on? Dead plants. I don't like dead plants. It doesn't look like white mold, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let me do some investigating. It is in fact white mold. See it on the stem there? See it here. See it all over the residue on the ground. Not good. I've been wondering why I haven't seen any white mold. Seems like we should have it. This is the first I have seen, and you can see this plant just dying off here. It's a little bit later than normal when it starting to show up here. Usually I've seen it even in the end of July, so I don't think it'll get too severe. But here's some more. We're definitely gonna lose some yield from that. So these are 3-1 bean. These were the very first planted field of beans that we have. April 13th. They're 15-inch rows. Phil planted these with our 1790. They're very tall. These are waist high on me. You know, solid 3 foot, 3.5 foot tall beans, and they look really, really good. Very healthy. We've got a few holes in some leaves from some Japanese beetle feeding, maybe some bean beetle feeding or grasshoppers or something, but we're also right next to the filter strip, so it may not be as bad out in the field. Not much I can do about white mold. We did put that heads up seed treatment on to try and keep the white mold down as best we could, and maybe that's why it's suppressed it long enough to get to where we are. And I saw it later. It's not 100% control. I knew that, and so that's why I was been surprised that we're not seeing it more than we are. But yeah, that's not good. The ones that aren't dead look really good. It's a heck of a root system. We got all kinds of root nodules. That makes me really happy. I have a feeling that's got a lot to do with my inoculant program this year. Like that. Potted pretty darn well. The pods are starting to get some thickness to them. They're, you know, you can see that one there. They're not flat anymore, so that's a good thing. Pretty healthy leaf tissue. I don't see any more active flowers, so we're more into the fill out what we've got stage rather than adding more flowers and pods, which is fine. It's middle to end of August, so we expect that. Probably getting pretty late for soybean aphids to start, or to, yeah, I don't know if I should say that exactly, but I don't see any up here. So overall, I'm really happy. It's just that little bit of white mold does concern me, and you know, maybe it's better out in the field. Right across the river, we've got my 30-inch rows where we irrigated corn last year. That the 30-inch rows a lot more air movement down in the lower canopy and should help keep disease pressure at bay. If you get way down in here and look, I mean, you can see down these rows, but there's not air getting down there. There's also not very much sunlight getting down there. That's a good thing. And one thing that I do notice, though, is we have pods on the ground. Like that one is almost touching the ground. These are going to be a little difficult to combine. We're going to have to make sure we've got everything adjusted just right to get that head underneath those beans and get them all into the combine and not clip them off above it. That's going to be a challenge. So they're nice and tall. They'll feed in well. I don't know that an air bar would help anything, but that's where not having no-till is going to be a benefit this year, because no-till, the residue from the corn stalks last year makes it really hard to get a good clean cut, and just running that VT disc over stuff that we do helps to get us a nice level seed bed to plant into, and therefore to harvest, makes harvestability a lot easier. So yeah, that's what I see. All right, next field of beans. These are the ones that we sprayed on Monday. Was it Monday? I think it was Monday. Put that KSB and boron on here. So 30-inch rows. We're right across we were over there by those trees where we found the white mold. This is a different variety, 3373 instead of 3132. So a little bit fuller season. like I said, 30-inch rows planted with corn planter. About the same planting date. Those ones that we were in were April 13th. I think these were planted the 14th or 15th, so just a day or two difference. And we've pushed the crap out of these. This is my contest beans this year for our Golden Harvest. Go for the gold contest, and I don't know. I don't see any white mold right here. This is a field where we had it really bad 2 years ago, but that was more on that end, so we're going to drive up there when we're done looking here. This is just more the low ground that is a little bit more productive, and that I've added foliars and stuff on all year, so that's why I wanted to look here. First difference I see right off the bat is we are still flowering. So these 3-3s are still growing, putting on new buds, pods, flowers. They're probably about done. I don't see a lot of flowers, but there are some here. We're gonna have to pull a plant because I can't really look at them very well. There's pods. We got lots of them. I'm so excited for these. So when you look down through the rows here, compared to that last field, you're not getting the sunlight to the ground very much, or same there, but there's a lot more space between the rows that's letting the airflow be a little bit better, and hopefully letting stuff dry out and keeping that white mold out of here. That's the goal, or the idea, or whatever you want to call it. That's what we're trying to do. So let's pull a plant. It's harder to pull plants in 30-inch rows because they're a lot closer together. We got some roots. Oh yeah, they look so good. All right, how's the rest of the plant look? Not too bad. Not too bad. Lots of flowers still coming. Oh, these are gonna be good. Yeah, these look really good. I counted 19 nodes with either pods or a branch on some of these lower ones. So a branch with pods on them is good as a node with pods on it. So I am thrilled with the way these look. I think these are going to be excellent beans. I'm very, very happy with them. Overall, I would say there's more 2-3 bean pods, 3 bean pods than there are in those last ones that I looked at. That one had a lot of 1s and 2s on the bottom, and there are some of those here, but more of them are 3. So I don't know. It's really hard to tell what beans are going to yield, but they're not 40 bushel beans. I do know that. One more stop. We're almost back to the farm right there. These are some more of my 30-inch rows, planted roughly the same time as those other ones, but these are a 2.5 maturity. Very different. And we have some other problems out here. Oh boy. See this one? See this very distinctive pattern on that leaf? Most likely that's sudden death, SDS, sudden death syndrome. Could be brown stem rot. We'll pull it out and look, but I don't see any more of those, just that one. Still, not what I want to see. Fairly confident that's SDS here. The stem doesn't look too bad. I split that one apart there, so I have to walk a little more, see if we see more of this or not. I don't like it. Anyway, these are a 2.5 maturity bean. They're going to be ready lots sooner than the other beans that we have been looking at. So I was kind of curious if the pods are fuller and just kind of what they look like. More dead beans. This is not good. This one appears to be Phytophthora, I think. I'm not an expert at Phytophthora, but it doesn't have the above ground symptoms of the white mold or SDS or brown stem rot. It's just a dead plant, and when I try and pull them out, yeah, that one's been dead for a while. So is this one. I think it's what we call Phytophthora root rot. And I've heard that that's pretty bad this year, so not good. This is not good. I walked into the fields today thinking that our bean crop was going to be the star and that our corn crop was going to be good but not great. My opinion is changing based on what I am seeing today. I think our corn is going to be better than our beans almost. Now, some of these look really good. Like that is a heck of a bean plant. That looks really good. Short. These are shorter. But we just got too much loss here. Too many dead plants. They're all over the place. That one's SDS. Dang. Not good. I'm not real happy here. All right. Well, overall, our corn looks better than expected. Our beans, maybe not as good as expected. It is what it is. So, anyway, Dad's been working on his burn receptacle here. You want to see? Oh, it's turning into, yeah, we got a whole cage. He's using old bin flooring. That's junk from the bin that we took out. Got a great, oh yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Anyway, it's time to go home. Thanks for watching today. Tomorrow's Saturday. We've got soccer, probably working around the house. I don't know what else we're doing. But we'll see you Monday.